Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Segerblom joins us. He's chair of the Clark County Commission, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. Rev it up during the $250,000 Cash and Wheels Guaranteed giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thousands in cash and free play every Thursday and Saturday. Drive away with a 2025 Ford Bronco or $45,000 guaranteed. Rev it up at the Carson Valley Inn.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Segerblom. He is the chair of the Clark County Commission. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thank you.
So a lot going on. Let's start out with the extension of Formula One. In another 2 years. And of course, the original plan was for 10 years altogether. And obviously there's been a massive investment by Formula One in Las Vegas. What are your thoughts at this point about the efforts they've made to mitigate the problems that arose before?
Well, I know they're making positive statements. I think this week is going to actually start the road work. So we'll see if they're able to streamline that process and not impact my constituents so much. But I know they've really focused on trying to reach out to us, work with us, and hopefully make it a much more positive experience for the locals.
One of the things that they've done is reach out to the actual community itself, bringing a lot of kids and families to the plaza, the Grand Prix Plaza. Have you been there? Did you check it out?
I haven't been there since, I have an ethics complaint. So I'm a little leery about going anywhere close to Formula One.
And, quite frankly, this is my opinion, not yours. But as a Clark County Commissioner with the biggest event financially to occur in Las Vegas, it makes absolutely no sense to me that you and the rest of the commissioners and your assistants wouldn't all be going to Formula One to see what it was, how it's working and operating. So I just put that on the table there.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that because that's my opinion too. I mean, it never would have occurred to me that I couldn't go see something that's taken more of my time in the 6 years I've been on the commission than anything.
One of the things that I'm pleased to see is, and I think we talked about this in the past, was initially the complaints were that the money was being made just by the casinos in the circuit itself. But I said at the time that I thought that this should be more like NFR, where every property would find their way to be a participant in this. And it seems like a lot of the properties on the Strip, but especially downtown, seems to be taking more of an active role in being a part of Formula One.
They're trying. I know downtown has got some money and they're doing some events. But honestly, when I talk to the operators, other than the handful that ride around the track, they're not that happy. And if you look at room prices for that weekend, they're way down. So at least so far, I think the word is around the country and probably the world is don't go to Las Vegas for Formula One unless you're going to the race because the town is really miserable.
All right, so let's address this because the national media is in a whirlwind of Las Vegas is going down, Las Vegas is dying, it's all over. And you and I both know that's total nonsense. The summer is always a slower time for Las Vegas. The gambling numbers were actually up, even though visitation was down a little bit. But comparing record year after record year, there had to be a point where you hit a plateau. And didn't we do that just because the comparisons were so huge between the previous couple of years and this year?
Well, we don't know yet, but frankly, as a native Las Vegan, we go up and down, every few years since I've been born, and I think this down will be less than any down before. I mean, if it's down 10%, we can live with that, but it just seems like, given the limited amount of places in the world and the diversity of our strip economy, it's not just that diversifying around the strip, but the reality is used to be gambling, which really went up and down. Now we have entertainment, we have the Sphere, we have the Raiders, we have lots of other things going on. So we've learned how to diversify tourism, and so I don't see that ever having the huge ups or downs that we used to be.
One of the things that has been an attack on Las Vegas has been the pricing. And I think everybody's aware, I think it was the $26 bottle of water in one of the hotel rooms. But Bloomberg did an interesting piece that came out over the weekend where they talked about the pricing of Las Vegas and the quality of a visit to Las Vegas versus other cities around the world. And their comparison was Wynn with other properties. And if you bought the cheapest room at Wynn, you were getting a level of luxury that was way beyond, for the money, anything you could find anywhere else in the world. Did you read the article, and what did you think about that?
I read Bloomberg, and I did not see that article, but I agree that Wynn is a classic example. Just, you can't beat that for the price anywhere in the world. But I think that's Las Vegas. I mean, the fact is, we structure our room rates based upon demand, and so if demand is down, the rates will come down, and we'll always be close to full. So we're very good at tweaking these things, and I'm sure with AI they're even better.
Well, I think one of the things that people don't take into consideration is if you're going to build multi-billion-dollar properties, you've got to charge rates that give you a return.
Well, it makes sense to me, but I don't think they've ever made money on the rooms. I think they make money on the tables and the gambling, and now on the entertainment and the food and things like that. But they're corporations. They understand the bottom line, and they know what to do to fill those beds and make money. So I'm not worried about them. They may not make as much money this year as they made the last couple of years, but they're not going anywhere, and they're still building new ones. There's lots of plans out there, and if you go by the old Mirage, which is now the new Hard Rock, that thing is coming along by leaps and bounds. We started working on the A's Stadium, so that's moving. So there's lots of activity on the Strip.
Yeah, to say the least. Have you looked at the drawings for the Hard Rock? And are you impressed? Because there's a lot of people that are like, oh my goodness, the volcano is gone. And they're very unhappy about that. But, life moves on.
Yeah, and honestly, I hate to say it, but in the desert, having a volcano, which is evaporating water, as fast as you can do it, was not a good symbol. So it's just like the Bellagio. At some point, we have to accept reality, and the guitar is going to be incredibly massive and impressive. So I'm not worried about that.
One of the things that's happened since the last time we talked is that Rosemary Vasiliadis is stepping down as boss of the airport authority, and her deputy, who was on this program last year, is now taking the job. He's going to have a couple of massive responsibilities. One is the multi-billion-dollar refurbishment of the Harry Reid Airport, but also he'll be there at minimum through all the planning stages of Ivanpah, if not to fruition. Your thoughts on that?
You're right. He's stepping into big shoes, and obviously Rosemary has been there so long and knew everybody. So it's gonna be tough shoes to fill. But she really promoted him, said he's the man for the job, and so I'm confident he can do it. We're gonna have to build a team around him, but and lots is gonna happen with the new Terminal One, and then some point the airport down by California. But end of the day, he's been around, he knows the ropes, and I'm optimistic that he'll do fine.
There was some talk by some that it might be good to bring in somebody from the outside to have a new vision for both of the airports. Why did that not happen? And I'm not saying anything about Jim because I think he's terrific, but that was part of the
I think
discussion.
the sentiment just wasn't there. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to look around and just see what's out there. He could have applied and probably would have won anyway. But the sentiment was, if things are going well, why rock the boat? I mean, the truth is we have two major projects ready to go, and to bring in somebody new just wasn't in the cards. Another thing is, I think you'll see that a lot of times people come in from outside, they're the best and the brightest, but Las Vegas is a unique animal. And so by the time they figure out where the bathroom are and who the players are, uh, they probably messed up. So I think if you can find a good local person, that's always the best.
Yeah, and it's kind of reminds me of when Pat Mulroy stepped down and John Ensminger stepped up. I mean, there was a big brouhaha that he would likely leave if he wasn't given the job. And of course, he turned out to be terrific as the head of the Southern Nevada Water Authority.
Yeah, no, there's lots of examples of homegrown talent. I was at an event on, I think it was Friday night, maybe Thursday night, and with the new head of the Wind, or not even the new head of the Wind, but head of the Wind, went to Valley High School, grew up here. You wouldn't think of him being responsible for running a multi-billion-dollar corporation with branches all around the world, but he's doing a fantastic job. So we can produce our own talent here.
Have you been given an invitation to go to the United Arab Emirates to see how the building's going on their new project there?
I haven't, but I do have a Arabian horse event coming in the end of the month across the street from the Win, where the prize for the winning horse is going to be $20 million.
Wow.
So I think Dubai is sending people over here.
Really? So that's what that's about.
Yes, it's just I still haven't figured out what award you could do as a horse that would earn you $20 million. It's not like a horse race, but that's what they say. So we'll find out.
Well, it's a family show, so I can't really go into what the value might be there. So let's just move on. And by the way, I presume that's at the Alon property, formerly the New Frontier, that Wynn owns across the street.
Right, exactly.
So that'll be interesting to see A, how they decorate it, but B, dressage and other things have been a big thing up in northern Nevada for years. And so it'd be interesting to see if that develops in southern Nevada as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the A's and the hotel casino that Bally's is supposed to build there. A lot of people say to me, they haven't put a hotel up yet. Where do you think we are with this? There's been, and I'm saying this in big letters, headlines, rumors that somebody else might be the one to actually build that hotel casino there. What have you heard?
Well, I've met with people from Bally's with designs, and they almost have to build it right now because they have to build it around the stadium. So I don't see any sign of somebody else coming in. It looks like to me like Bally's is committed to it. And maybe they have to partner with somebody or do something else. But the truth is, now's the time they have to design it because it's going to fit, like a ball in a glove, so to speak, right there in that site. So you can't come in a couple of years and say, "Oh, we're going to change our mind." It's integral to the whole concept.
Have you talked to folks from MGM? Because there was certainly talk back when the whole stadium idea came up that Excalibur and Luxor, at least, and possibly even Mandalay Bay, would see upgrades to match the new stadium. Any word on that?
I have not heard that at all, but it makes sense. I mean, I think MGM is the happiest of all to have that baseball stadium there because that's one more venue that they provide the rooms for. It's their corner, so I think it's a perfect fit for them.
Isn't it wild to think of that many thousands of rooms being a bedroom for a stadium? But look at the success of T-Mobile.
No, absolutely. It's that corner. The only problem is going to be when the T-Mobile has a game, when the A's have a game, and the Raiders are playing, um, and then the old MGM Grand will have something too. I mean, that's going to be a potential nightmare, but that's what we do in Las Vegas.
Um, but how far along is Elon Musk with the Boring Company and the tunneling to be able to mitigate some of those issues?
Frankly, he's got a long way to go. They're making progress, but I wouldn't say by inches, but it's not going to make a huge difference anytime in the near future, as far as I can tell. It's those two tunnels, or whatever you want to call them, are going to be pretty limited, at least for the foreseeable future.
All right. Even though the plans are for well over 60 stations to be built in Las Vegas, what do you think the build out is going to be then? Is it a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan?
I'm not sure, but I just know there's a lot of steps that have to go first. We're just starting to learn some of the issues that arise. So truth is, when you have an electric car with electric battery in a real small tunnel, there's lots of safety concerns and other things that are going to just have to be worked through. So we're experimenting, but we want to make sure we do it in the right way.
All right, but you're not suggesting that the system they're operating right now, for example, at the convention center or the couple of tunnels, Westgate is hooked up, Encore is hooked up. You're not suggesting that there are safety problems with those at this point, are you?
No, but again, we don't know. This is an untried technology, so we don't know what happens. What happens if one of those cars in the middle of a tunnel, catches on fire? I mean, what do we do? What happens if there's an accident? What if a driver, falls asleep or has a heart attack or something? There's just lots of uncertainties, and the problem is the tunnels are so small you can't get around them. So that car's gonna be stuck in there. We're working on a process to be able to go in and get the car out, but that there's a lot of issues, firefighters and other things that we want to make sure we're extremely safe. We don't want one of those tunnels to have a major issue underneath the wind or underneath the MGM.
Has anything like that happened so far?
No, but you got to plan for the worst. So again, there's just lots of things that if you put your imagination to work, could happen. And truthfully, a lot of times that's the one thing in a million that happens. And oh my God, why did we think of that?
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with more with Segerblom. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission after this timeout.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Segerblom. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission. I wanted to ask you about Brightline West. Finally, after all these years, and Tony Marnell, thankfully, is still alive to see this, along with Sig Rogich. It looks like the train is actually coming.
Again, it's one of those things that we've talked about forever, and they're moving dirt, but it's still a long way to go. And I'm not sure if they've ever sold all those millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of bonds that's necessary to build it. But everything I see looks optimistic. So fingers crossed.
One of the things that I think is exciting about it is that they own 100 acres at Warm Springs, which is the site where the train will terminate in Las Vegas. And the development, the entertainment value of that development could be huge.
Absolutely. I've been talking to a lot of people about the potential of some kind of a stadium there. Remember, there was going to be a basketball stadium, and that seemed to have fallen through. But there's a lot of interest in a soccer stadium or some kind of stadium. So it's going to be huge development, and that's really, I think, their play is they're more of a developer than they are a train company. So that if they can get the train to land there, then that property is going to be incredibly valuable.
Interesting. So you don't think that there's going to be a relocation of the stadium further north on the Strip?
Well, that's a different issue as far as the basketball stadium. I mean, I'm hoping to have a basketball stadium in the north part in my area, but it's one of those things where everybody's almost there, and then it never happens. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But, we're supposedly Seattle and Las Vegas are the next two basketball franchises, so somebody's got to get going.
Right. Well, we got to get going, take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys who will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Segerblom. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission. So an interesting race for governor on the Democratic side with Aaron Ford, our current Attorney General, and Alexis Hill, who is the current chair of the Washoe County Commission, against Joe Lombardo on the Republican side. Now, if Harry Reid, one of your mentors, were alive today, he would have cleared the field. What's going on there?
Truthfully, I'm not sure, but honestly, I don't mind primaries. I mean, primaries can be bad, but they can also be very productive. And one of the problems the Democrats have had is we haven't had good primaries. And so that's where you generate the enthusiasm and the voter registration that shows up in November. And, one of the reasons we became a red state last time is because we lost that caucus in January or February, which again, candidates came in from out of state, really pepped up the base, and we kept those people pepped up and fired up until November. So I don't see a big problem with that. I think Aaron's going to be really tough to beat, and I think he'll do strong in November. But having Alexis in there it's always great to have a Northerner. She seems like a very personable person, and more power to her.
How much money do you think they're going to have to raise just on the Democratic side in the primary? And that's without the outside money coming in.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that much is going to be spent. I don't know where Alexis would get that much money, but maybe she's got deep pockets or something. But again, it's Aaron's well known. He's well respected. He's done a fantastic job as Attorney General. So I don't think, frankly, she's going to be that much competition. But the main thing is whatever happens after the primary, get together, and focus on November, because we really need a strong turnout in November. For the legislature, for people like me, for everybody. So we have Trump on the rails. Let's take advantage of it.
Okay, well, there may be some that disagree with you on that, but I will see you in person in October. Looking forward to it, my friend.
All right, great. I can't wait to figure out where we go to dinner.
Okay, man. And that's Tick Segerblom. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com. You can always watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at nevadanewsmakers.com. Thanks for watching and listening.